answers because I'm proud. I'm proud to share a stage with Jay White and Kidd. These guys are top of the line, and New Japan Strong for me is my heart and soul. So I'm proud of the stuff I've done with WWE, and I'm proud of the stuff that we're all continuing to do with New Japan Strong. So I'm proud of this, and I'm not taking this jacket off. If you tell me to take this jacket off, that's not nice. No, never. Never tell me to take the jacket off, damn it. No, never. Right, leave the jacket on. Right, but yeah, I'm proud of what we're doing, guys.
Yeah, like you can see the, you can feel the emotion and how we feel about Strong and what we have here. So, yeah.
Quiet on set, guys, please.
What's going on? Silence is fun.
You got to read it out if you get any.
Yeah, read it out.
Any calls have to go on speaker straight away, and any text messages you got to read them out.
There you go.
So the 50th anniversary of New Japan Pro Wrestling is coming up. Obviously, a very big deal, historic anniversary in the company. What does New Japan, I mean, this might be a long-winded answer for each of you, but what does New Japan mean to you personally?
Employment, employment amongst other things. I don't know, what does New Japan mean to me? I'm sure that answer would change year to year, even month to month maybe. As you get older and grow, you probably look at things different and look at things you've done a bit differently. What would New Japan mean to me if I try to give you an answer now? I mean, it's afforded me a platform to where I can showcase what I knew I could always do as a wrestler. Coming from New Zealand, not an overly big guy, traditionally wrestlers have to look like Fred and stuff. I don't look like Fred, but yeah, so New Japan for me, it's just, I don't know, I wouldn't be here without New Japan. So obviously it means a lot. But it doesn't stop here as well. It just keeps going and stuff. So all the things I've already done, I want to keep building on that over the next few years and however long I can be a New Japan for.
I mean, ever since I was 16, when I really started pursuing this and when I really wanted to pursue this dream and become a professional wrestler, Japan was always the goal. I was always kind of gravitated more towards the Japanese style rather than the kind of, what's the word, dramatized American style. I just like watching two guys get in there and scrap it out, and I think the Japanese style really TV wrestling, there you go. TV wrestling and the New Japan style, and to be here now and to go through the dojo system, that's a very small list, Over the years, if you look at all the wrestlers in the past 30 years, only a few can really say they passed the New Japan dojo system. And I'm proud of the fact I did that, and I'm sure everyone who's done it feels the exact same way. And, here's for another 50 years, because I truly believe this is the best wrestling company in the world, because we're talking professional wrestling. No one does it better than New Japan.
And for me personally, I was always intimidated in the New Japan style since a kid. I watched it all. When, as a kid, I grew up 3 TVs on in the living room. WCW Nitro on one TV, Monday Night Raw on the other TV, and then the third TV was Monday Night Football. So, I'm a die-hard wrestling fan. So, the style, I just didn't think I could do it. And how I got connected with New Japan real quick. I was on a show in Pomona, California, September 2019 with Lance Hoyt, and we were friends from FCW. And we were on a show, autograph signing, and he said, "So what are you up to?" I said, "I'm just making moves, doing the indies and stuff like that, but I've always had dreams and aspirations of doing New Japan." So, Globe Theater, November 2019, he told me to come to a show, so the show started at 7 p.m. I got there at 5 p.m. because at the time, 16 plus years in the business, I wanted to feel the ring. I wanted to feel the ambiance of it. And that one question was rolling in my head: do I fit in? Do I fit in? Do I fit in? After watching the show from beginning to end, and I said to myself, man, I can hang with these guys. I can elevate these guys because at this point in my career, I want to be able to elevate talent. I'm gonna get my shit in, but I want to be able to work with talent and elevate them. So, I did it, and I had match of the year with Tom Law in 2020, but I told Jay White I was going to put him over publicly by saying that your style, man, I voted you and Rocky Romero match of the year because the true test of a performer, I feel, is working in front of no crowd. And from the time you walked out until the match ended, you were just telling a story, and you remind me of like Heath Ledger, the Joker. I've said that in interviews, but I never said it publicly. Like, you don't know what you're gonna say. You're just dark, mysterious, quiet, and I voted that match of the year. And you said something after the match like, "What did you expect? The best in the world against Rocky Romero." Just the shit that comes out of your mouth is epic. And the kid, you can see the DMs because it goes down in the DMs. I compliment him since day one on his acceleration, his speed, his intensity in the ring. So me being a veteran, I've got to step my game up because everyone on the roster brings it, So I'm always second guessing myself, but to have match of the year with Tom Lawler, the biggest compliment from my peer is him saying in an interview, I didn't think in a million years he would share the ring with someone like Darren Young, but the minute that we touched, he said it was going to be something special. So that's the biggest compliment. That's me speaking from the heart. I can do these panels and speaking engagements and write down what I'm going to say, but speaking from the heart, I work best. So that's what wrestling means to me in general. Like I said, I go off track, but speaking from the heart has got me a lot further in life. So yeah.
Thanks, I think we're really good. You think about whether you could fit into that. I think you fucking fit in more than comfortable. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah. Gabe, time will tell, Gabe.
He's doing good, man. He's doing good. I love you guys.
Talking about fitting in, and Gabriel, you just cut. We don't want to even call it a promo, but we all knew you were amazing in the ring.
Can I just interject real quick? Like, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I'm not calling it that. I feel too often these days, because wrestling fans or even wrestlers, just people that watch it, have been conditioned that anytime somebody is talking to you, you guys think it's, not everybody, but in general, people most of the time are going to assume that it's been written down for you backstage or something, or it's a promo. I just talk. I just go out there and talk. And majority of what I say is for the most part real. And so I'm basically saying what you're saying, but that's why if Gabe goes out and talk, or even Fred, like, I personally, I can't hate that word promo because it's not what we do. When I'm talking, I'm not doing a promo. Like right now, I'm just talking to you. I'm just being honest about shit. And whether it's in the ring, backstage, or whatever, I'm always doing that. And that's what it was for Gabe as well. So all I'm trying to say here is that when you guys see people talking and stuff, it's like from New Japan especially, try not to have that thing in your mind where like, oh, this is just a promo that's just being kind of written or something like that, okay? What we do is, for lack of a better word, it really is real.
So that's what I was going to touch on, because it felt real. There was no question about it. Like, you were able to look into your eyes, and you touched on climbing on top of that building. You touched on your grandmother. I wanted to ask you, have you felt the love and energy coming back from that? Like coming out, people online reaching out to you, your peers reaching out to you, people now seeing you in a different light.
Yeah, 100%, and it just justified in my mind like the reason I wanted to do it and the reason I like spoke to Rocky and New Japan about doing it. Because the past 2 years it's been a whirlwind for everyone, and people go through stuff, and like it's a hard time, So, and people who are messaging me, like people I've looked up to for years, who I would have never thought had experienced anything like that, were reaching out to me and telling me their experiences, and it just really all these strangers as well, people who'd seen it, and people who aren't even wrestling fans, people who'd seen it, and I think it's been for a long time a great area in our industry, and that people don't really want to talk about mental health, but the reality is it's just as important as physical health. You gotta stay sharp, you gotta stay in shape to be a wrestler, but there's long tour rides, there's long bus rides, 10-hour bus rides and lonely hotel nights, and you've got to be, mentally right to be able to do that, and it's important that everybody is in the right headspace to do that, and the more people are talking about it, and yeah, I felt the love, it was very special to me, and very grateful to anyone who reached out to tell me their story, and just anyone who watched the video, and I think it's a really important thing to me. And like you said, it was just, I knew what I wanted to say, but I didn't have a way I was going to say it. I just went out there and let my mind talk for me. But yeah, 100%. The wrestling community have been very good to me since that video dropped.
Have you guys watched the video, by the way?
We all saw it, right?
We all saw the promo, right?
Not a promo.
I'm not a promo. I'm sorry, Jake.
A conversation with friends is what was that.
A conversation, yes. But if you haven't, I suggest you to watch it right after this, because it definitely touched me.
It's special.
And it's special for sure.
I just want to touch on that real quick. I just want to highlight and give praise, not to Gabe so much, to Gabe, but also just the fact that it takes balls to just, if people are struggling through stuff, to go and reach out to people in any sense, let alone in a public, in front of a show of people, and obviously that's going to be up online, so that takes balls to do that. I just want to highlight the fact that we're talking about the response that got. So when people are struggling with stuff and they feel like they can't reach out, or that if they do, people aren't going to respond. For anybody going through it, just use that as an example of Gabe reached out, before the promo, he reached out to people and obviously talked about that, and then look at the response that he got back. So it does show that when you do reach out to people, people will care and help you. So, yeah.
So coming up in a couple of days here, we got New Japan Strong, Nemesis. Everyone on this panel will be wrestling. Jay, you're going to be wrestling the fallen angel Christopher Daniels.
Local boy, huh?
Yeah, local boy. A California legend. How do you feel about
Legend. Go on.
How do you feel about the upcoming match with him?
It's I'm excited for him. It'll be in Hollywood. Big opportunity for him. Fallen Angel, I prefer to call him Forgotten Angel because nobody really knows about him anymore. So I like that. Forgotten Angel Christopher Daniels. I think that has a better ring to it than he's also fallen from where he supposedly once was. So hey, fallen still works, but just not in the way that the fallen, forgotten.
Keep it PG, baby.
Okay, yeah. Fallen, forgotten, failing Christopher Daniels. There we go. I got 3 in there. Maybe I can revive his career or something. Maybe I can give him, like guys like Gabe here who are trying to make it in this business. Maybe the fallen, forgotten, failing Christopher Daniels he can have a chance at making it too. So, I'm excited for a guy like Christopher Daniels. This is a huge opportunity for him. Biggest match of his career easily. So, I'm just a very kind and giving person, and I like to give out these opportunities, obviously.
We appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
You guys, you better remember that was a fallen, forgotten, failing, Christian,
Fallen, forgotten, failing.
The three F's.
You can like use those each of those words interchangeable. It doesn't have to be in the same order.
Okay. Write it down. Speaking of opportunities, Gabriel, you're facing the Mad King, Eddie Kingston. How do you prepare for someone like Eddie Kingston?
Well, you know, it's my third match back, and I've known Eddie for a while now, about 5-6 years, and I said this in a video that went out yesterday, but I really look up to Eddie Kingston, you know, the way he speaks about his struggles and like wears his heart on his sleeve, and just how, you know, authentic he is. I think if you're talking authenticity in professional wrestling, then Eddie Kingston's name is at the top of the list, but at the end of the day, I got to step in the ring with this guy, and I got to look him in the eyes, and we both have to know that we got to go to war, you know, and we got to bring it. And you know, I know he's a fan of the Japanese style. He's openly talked about it many times, and you know, I was in the past 2 years, all I've been doing is the Japanese style. So I'm looking to bring New Japan wrestling to America and showing them what Japanese professional wrestling is. And I'm going to, you know, throw everything I have at him, and I'm going to beat his ass.
Should be an amazing show. Does anyone have any questions? Try not trip down the stairs. Why did I walk down backwards? What is that?
One question. I just want to say, I took a friend who has never ever been to a wrestling show ever, right? Doesn't even follow wrestling ever, to Battle of the Valley. He was blown over by all you guys, especially Frederick's fan tag match. So you're winning over guys. You keep up great work. So my question is, what is the roadmap for you guys for New Japan Strong going into next year? And then we've got some shows coming up in the first few months. So how is the brand going to grow? What's coming ahead?
I don't know if that's the thing that we would be able to answer specifically, because if in terms of like shows and growing the brand and stuff, that's not really. I mean, we've got to put in the work to try and make that grow, obviously. And like I said, we got shows coming up in, I know we got Seattle, I think St. Pete / Tampa, and there's somewhere else. Oh, I think it's back in LA. In terms of how to make it grow, like from the business standpoint, I have no clue, because that's not what we do. We're from the wrestling standpoint, so how do we make it grow from that? We just keep doing what we're doing, I think. Because like he said, I believe we're the best professional wrestling company. We put out the best professional wrestling. So as long as we keep doing that, then, you know, then we're doing our job, and we're doing our role. And the shows are growing. We're getting more and more fans at the last few shows we've been doing. I'm sure Hollywood is going to be great as well. So we just keep doing what we're doing, basically. I think.
Nice.
Anybody else?
Also, I don't know the good shit. I got a question for Fred. So your fro was so iconic. You know, you were known for that. Then you got it not only sheared off, but you got it eaten. Like your hair was actually put in someone's mouth and chewed. How does it feel now? Like moving on from that side of you now to this side of you with the shaved head?
Yeah, I mean, Filthy Tom Waller, his name is Filthy for a reason. Let me just say that I've been able to wrestle all over the world, but I've never been able to wrestle in Southeast Asia. So that's always been a bucket list of mine. And with 2022 coming up, hopefully I can somehow, someday, just do one tour. I just want to do one tour. If I ever get the opportunity, that's my goal. That is my goal. And with the, no hair now, less maintenance. I make my
It's great, right?
yeah, I make my 20s jealous of my 30s. I look good. But me and Tom are not done. We are not done, and I'm sure I'll see him again very soon.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Fred. I know you said you'd be happy with just one tour, but I really hope you get to do a lot more than that. You know, the way you came in and studied the Japanese style, studied
Absolutely.
the history of our company, you know, and you are really, I was saying to one of the staff members the other day, I was just saying that you're a really strong, pardon the pun, strong person to our brand in the States, and I'm really glad, and I really hope you do get to go over there and show them what you're all about too.
If you want me to pull a few strings, dude, I can't. I'm pulling that company, so let me know.
He is the king. G1 sounds nice, right?
Yeah, you need all of them. You kind of, if you're gonna call me like the king or whatever, you gotta do all the acronyms.
Do it.
Do you know them?
No, I don't.
Do you need me to rattle them off for you?
I would love for you to.
Alright, here we go. We'll go from the start. So obviously I'm Switchblade Jay White, last rock and roller, #1 accident in all of pro wrestling, single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden. I'm King Switch, baby. I'm the first ever Grand Slam champion, which makes me the real belt collector. I'm the leader of Bullet Club, and it's still my hero.
Does anybody else have any questions? No. I can't, I'm stuck here, I can't come here. I'm sorry. It's as far as I can go.
Oh, nice.
If anybody else has any questions, just, I don't know, come up here so we can get a good one.
Jay, being
What's up, man?
English New Zealand, living in the U.S. for a Japanese-based company, and at some point, the U.S. will become mainland New Japan. But, kind of going back to the fitting in sense, how are you guys fitting in? Do you guys feel like you're home here in the U.S.? What is it like being from one nation, living in another, working for a third?
I don't know, do you mean like the wrestling side or just kind of person just living in these different countries?
Kind of both, actually.
I mean, I'm at home, I honestly feel more at home in the States. I've been based in the States since, they sent me to ROH mid-2016. For the later half of that year, I was kind of back and forth between the States and England, because England was kind of home at that point. And then from 2017 onwards, I've pretty much been based in the States. I was in Michigan for a bit, and then made my way to Florida. So for me, the States is home now, and I love it. So I'm kind of used to it here. Wrestling side of it, I mean, that's kind of, it's not, I don't think it's hard. You know what? Because that's kind of the dream, because you want to travel and wrestle. So, I love it, the fact that I'll be able to go from this place to this place to this place and wrestle and live in these different places, That's New Japan has obviously afforded me those opportunities, and so is wrestling. So, I love all aspects of it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really, happy to be here. I've been wrestling for 10 years, and I never got the chance to wrestle in the States before now, and I just moved here, and I'm going to be based here for the foreseeable future, and yeah, looking forward to working in America more, and experiencing the independent scene out here firsthand after seeing it online for so many years, and just happy to be here, living with my team, LA Dojo, and I'm real happy to be here.
Thank you all three of you for the stuff you put your body through for our entertainment. Really appreciate it.
I thought, honestly, you guys were going to ask this question, so I'm going to ask it for you. Jay White, when we say Forbidden Door, a lot of people talk about Bullet Club versus the Elite at Blood and Guts. Is that something that you look forward to eventually?
Is that a thing?
That's a thing. It's a thing on Twitter. Every year, Blood and Guts. Bullet Club versus Elite.
I got no issue with it. Last time I saw any of those guys was at Impact. I went out to just say hi to Kenny and Dog, and I hadn't seen them in a while. So I have no issue with them at the moment. To be honest, if I was going to try and sort out any Bullet Club issues, it's not with the Elite, it's with that House of Torture bullshit. I don't know what's going on there. But so long as I'm not there, I'm kind of not too bothered with it. So we can talk about the Elite guys. I've got no issue with them right now. Also, I could be lying, but I got no issue with them. And then you saw at Blood and Guts, to be honest, that doesn't sound too appealing. Do you want to get cut open and bleed and have your guts out?
Absolutely not.
Right, so neither do I.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure none of you guys would want to cut open or whatever, or be busted. And the guts is a little bit extreme. Like, that's a very extreme. It's extreme. Yeah, we're trying to do wrestling matches here, not murder.
You don't want to fall off the top of the cage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But,
And
I got no issue with them at the moment, you know.
Bullet Club is fine.
Yeah, I mean, we're fine. Like, me and Kenny, like, we had our match. I beat him, so, yeah, it's fine. We're good. I have no issue with him. He may have an issue with me, seeing as he lost to me last time we wrestled, but
This is fair. This is fair.
come on, guys. Any other questions?
you guys are shy today, aren't you?
Come on. I know
Or
it's
is it
early.
New York? We did it. There we go. Go, you can just stay up here.
You can just stand up there.
And reel them off.
Yeah.
You have to listen.
This is what I thought someone would bring up, but Katsuyori Shibata and the LA Dojo, for like on the wrestling side, and building up New Japan Strong and building up these matches, like how much has he and the dojo been to helping you guys like make this such a good show?
I don't know. I have nothing to do with him or the dojo.
You guys?
That was just one guy answering. You got
Can I just say from firsthand experience, you guys haven't seen me at the dojo here in LA, but I've attended several dojos, and it's not easy. It is not easy at all. The one thing about me is I didn't quit and I didn't give up, but it is not easy. It is like the real deal. Like, it doesn't, you know, every time I show up and Clark Connors is like, oh, it's going to be a little bit easy. I said, no, it's not. It's not going to be fucking easy at all. Are you kidding me? So, like, and me, 19 years doing this, September 11, 2002 is when I first started. You know, 1 year after 9/11, I still get nervous around Shibata's son because I want to make him proud. I want him to, I respect the style. I'm still learning. But the dojo, from firsthand experience, it does not get easy at all.
No, it does not, you know. And so
But what I'm trying to say, you guys are machines. You guys are fucking machines, man. Everyone there. So I'm just constantly competing with myself to like step my game up because the dojo does not get easy. The performance center, I think it's a blessing if you're at the performance center. I remember, I hate using the term back in my day, but back in my day, May 4th, 2009, I had to pay $1,000 or $1,500 to try out for WWE. Now guys get invited back, but I paid money, you know, because I was serious about this. And May 4th, 2009, I had 75 guys and girls from all over the world. I fucking earned my contract. So I share that story all the time because I was told no by them over 40 times. So I got that one yes. So these are stories that people need to hear, but the dojo is no joke. Even before I got with New Japan, I said to Rocky Romero, because if it wasn't for Rocky Romero, I wouldn't be here. So he's my heart, man. And like I told him, what do I got to do? Do I got to try out at the dojo? I'll do whatever it takes, but you guys are like legit.
Real quick before we get to Gabe's answer about Shibata, that I'm sure you'll like more than mine. Just to touch just something he said real quick, you know, it's probably cliche, but just keep getting told no, didn't take that for an answer. So anything you're trying to do in life, you're going to get told no. Just don't stop there. If it's something you believe you can do, just do it.
Damn, you turned into Gary Vee real quick.
Yes, yeah.
Well, there you go. No, he's been really involved, you know. He really, he doesn't just want to stand there and tell us what to do. He wants to, you know, from what he can do, because he's still, you know, what he had, like, medically was extremely rare, and there was, you know, so many complications with it. And to see, just from when I met him in 2018, a year after it happened, to how he is now is like night and day. It's ridiculous. And like the other day, we had someone come through and train with us in the dojo. We started off as normal doing squats, and we started off 500 squats. And this person doing them, they were doing them, but they were, you know, physically struggling. And Shabbat was doing them, every single one, every single rep he was doing. He wasn't missing it out. He was like, if I'm telling someone to do this, I'm going to do it too. And that's just the kind of coach he is, you know. He's very hands-on. And he beats our asses, to be honest.
You know what that is, Gabe? When he does it himself, he won't tell you to do anything that he won't do himself. That's a leader.
Yeah, being a good coach. And no, he's really, you know, he's a fantastic coach, and he pushes us. We'll get back, and you know, after the tapings are done, we'll be happy that what we've been working towards is, you know, done, and we've accomplished what we set out to do. But the next day, it's a day off, and it's straight back to it, you know. And we're back in the dojo, and it's on to the next one. And that's just how he works. And he's a professional wrestler, and even though he hasn't been competing on shows, he's always been a professional wrestler the whole time, you know, just in the form of a coach. And, you know, it's great to see how well he's doing compared to when I first met him. And, you know, he's really been there for me during a hard time. And he's my coach, and I'm proud to call him that.
Yeah, but also, like, is he that bad? Can he still not wrestle, or is it just I have this little feeling after some interactions I've had with him when I've had matches with Goats and stuff. I feel like he could get back in there, but he knows that he'd probably have to run into me, so that's probably what he doesn't want to do. You feel free to pass that on to him if you like. But
Well, you can tell him yourself.
I never see it.
Well, I'll tell him to come and find him.
That's right. I wouldn't want to hurt him in his
I
career
have,
all over again.
I have a really quick one for you. Or I think-
Oh, we were talking, but go on.
Yeah.
No, it's yours.
Why? You ready?
No, it's your panel. It's your panel. Go.
Yeah, I'm just curious. There are some wrestling comic books out there. Mike Kingston, I think Taya Wolf downstairs has a Ghosts of Dead Wrestlers comic book she put out this year. I'm curious. Do you guys like comics that were here at Comic-Con? Do you have any favorite comics or shows, superheroes, kind of anything that inspires you?
I've read a couple before. When I was living with Alex Shelley, he loves comics and stuff and gaming and all that. So what was I read? I'm trying to think. Is it Batman Day One? I think something. Year One, sorry, that one. I think I read that. And then it was at the time that Logan was coming out in the cinema, so I read the comic about that. Again, I don't know if it was called Logan as well, where what's the plot twist thing? Like the Hulk and stuff's like he's taken over everybody or something. Does this ring any bells to anybody? You know what I'm talking about? What's the name of that comic? Is that actually called Logan? Old Man Logan. That's right. I read that one. That was cool. Those are the last two that I can remember reading. That was a few years ago. I wouldn't say I'm a big comic person, but those are just the last ones I read.
I'll be honest, I don't read too many comics, but Deadpool, he's a cool guy. His superpower is just like being really cool. Like just carries a couple of knives around on his back casually, and then has a real good-looking girlfriend. Pretty cool superhero. If I was to be into superheroes, Deadpool would be the guy.
I mean, he also like had cancer and stuff. And then,
Oh yeah, he is actually. I thought he wasn't a superhero. He was just a cool guy. But no, he can actually.
He can regenerate.
You can tell Gabe has no clue what he's talking about.
Well,
I mean, he's a cool guy.
honestly, I watched the movie when I was like half asleep 2 weeks ago. That's when it came to my head. But he is cool. And Ryan Reynolds is a good actor too. Big Ryan Reynolds. Is he here today? He is?
No.
Ryan Reynolds is the huge Yoshi Hashifan.
So, any comic books?
Honestly, as a kid, since 1983, I came into my mom's womb. I was a fan of wrestling, so that's all I watched was wrestling. But I look at myself as Mr. No Days Off, the suntan Superman, who's a superhero for not only the LGBTQ community, but anyone that gets bullied into silence, So I'm a superhero here representing, sharing my story. I say it all the time, don't die with the story, you tell it. Block the hate so you
Okay, I was actually going to ask you about representation. How do you feel representation as a black man, as a member of the LGBTQ community? How do you feel we're at now with the progress you made, and where can we push it forward at?
That's a great question. And during the Olympics in Tokyo, my family and I were watching the Olympics, and my family were always rooting for other teams besides Japan. And I was always rooting for Japan. My family was like, why are you rooting for Japan all the time? Because New Japan Strong were the first to put me on a marquee before WWE ever did, so it's like a loyalty. I've done my thing as a Nexus member. I've done my thing as a tag team wrestler. I tried to do my thing with Bob Backlund. It's just unfortunate I didn't have the people on my side. But with New Japan, it's like a loyalty, They're putting me on the marquee with these guys, you know what I mean? So it's like, I've got to give it my all, and just, there's room for everyone at the finish line, So I want to be able to cross the finish line with these guys up here. So that's where I stand on that.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for spending the hour, and with the technical difficulties, we'll figure it out.
Oh, there was meant to be a video up there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No,
Videos.
that's pretty awesome. I think that was a great visual for everybody out there.
Just a
We
big,
could superimpose anything on post with that.
yeah,
Exactly.
use the power of your imagination. There was 3 videos there.
No more questions from anybody?
I'm just so happy I did not get roasted by Jay White because
They're still talking.
We really shouldn't have said that first. We get away with it.
you're one of the best, man. You're one of the best that does it, and this was a lot of fun for me personally.
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
still a fan. I hope you guys are too.
Absolutely. All right, well, make sure, guys, this Thursday, the Vermont, New Japan,
The
Strong,
fallen, forgotten,
failing.
failing Christopher Daniels gets the chance of a lifetime to become famous in Hollywood. Yep. That's an F. There you go.
There you go.
That's an
Hopefully,
F. Yeah.
possibly famous. Make sure you guys check it out this Thursday at the Vermont. Should be a great show. Everybody, thanks for joining us, and let's give our panel a hand.
Figure out this technical difficulties thing. Let me play some music on the way out.
And also, signs at booth 851, guys. Everyone will be playing.